This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. All government and government-approved private schools will reopen for the second session of the second term of the year today. Dutch delegation to sign documents for ownership transfer of colonial-era treasures today. The construction of the multi-purpose transport centre in Kandy will commence before the end of this year. The Prime Minister reiterates that he is committed to safeguard the unitary state under any circumstance. Legal action against individuals and organizations involved in pyramid schemes. The third Randori Perehara of the historic Udarata Kanda Dalada Maligava Asala Perehara festival will parade the streets tonight. News overseas: China's summer of climate destruction. In sports cricket, Karim Jannat, Najibullah Zadran back in Afghanistan squad for Asia Cup. Local news in detail. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena states that the government is committed to preserving the unitary state territorial integrity, sovereignty and independence of the motherland, which has been protected from generation to generation by the forefathers. He made these remarks while joining the Satyakriya and Adhisthana Puja, which was held for the 29th year together with several national organizations under the patronage of the MEP leader, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, on Saturday at Kataragama Historical Kirivehara Chaitya. The Prime Minister's media division reported this. The Premier further said that he is committed to build a country in which youth are rich in knowledge, skills and positive attitudes, and to create a future that guarantees new jobs and livelihood strategies. By strengthening the democratic society, we commit ourselves to establish a mixed election system for the Supreme Parliament and public representative bodies by reforming the Constitution to create a participatory democracy. Minister Mahinda Amaravira, Deputy Speaker Ajit Rajapaksa, State Ministers Janaka Vakumbara, PL Nishanta, Anupa Pasquale, Shashindra Rajapaksa and Jagat Pushpa Kumara, Members of Parliament, Govinda Kumaratunga, Gaisha and Navanandana, the leaders of Buddhist organizations, including National Organization leaders Dr. Gunadasa Amarasekara, lawyer Kalyananda Tiranagama, custodian of Kataragama Devalaya Dishan Vikramaratna, All Ceylon Buddhist Federation President Chandra Vakishta, representatives of various mass organizations and a large number of people participated in this event, according to the Prime Minister's media division. A cultural delegation of the Netherlands led by the State Secretary for Culture and Media in the Netherlands, Gurey Uslu, has arrived in Sri Lanka in order to sign two legal documents related to transferring the ownership of the artifacts that will be returned to Sri Lanka this year. Accordingly, the transference of acknowledgement and the loan agreement related to the purpose will be signed with the Dutch delegation at 3 p.m. today. In the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, the ministry said in a statement. 6 historical objects, which are currently contained in the collection of the Amsterdam Museum in Netherlands, including the Leukes cannon, golden kastane, silver kastane, Sinhalese knife and 2 guns, have been confirmed to be belonging to Sri Lanka, according to the ministry. In 2021, the Dutch government approved the policy for the return of cultural heritage objects that are in possession of the Dutch state. The indigenous populations of colonial territories were served an injustice through the involuntary loss of objects that formed part of their cultural heritage, said the Dutch government. Therefore, the Dutch government is keen to help rectify this historic injustice by returning cultural heritage objects to their country of origin and by strengthening international cooperation in this area. The State Minister of Finance, Ranjit Singh Balapatiya, says that legal action will be taken under the Penal Code against the organizations and individuals who are carrying out or involved in pyramid schemes. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka has banned 9 entities recently that have conducted pyramid schemes which are prohibited in the country. In a post published on social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, the CBSL warned against participating in pyramid schemes, deeming it a punishable offence. The CBSL further mentioned that it has requested the Attorney General to consider instituting criminal proceedings in terms of the provisions of Section 83C of the Banking Act. The third Randoli Perehara with the historical Udarata Kanda Dalada Maligawa Asala Perehara Festival will parade the streets tonight. The final Randoli Perehara will parade the streets on Wednesday. The Asala Perehara proceedings will conclude on the 31st of this month with a water cutting ceremony. Special security and traffic arrangements are made in Kandy in view of the Asala Perehara. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said the construction of the multi-purpose transport centre in Kandy will recommence before the end of this year. The particular construction work was suspended for 7 years. The main objective of this project is to ease the traffic in the Kandy town. The construction work is done with the support of all transport entities. The World Bank provides the financial assistance for this project. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news, and we move on to more local stories. The Welfare Benefits Board will disperse the Aswasama welfare benefits money related to the month of July to the banks today. Accordingly, around 800,000 families are to get Aswasama benefits today. State Minister of Finance Shahan Semasinghe said that out of the 1.5 million beneficiaries who have been selected, the money will be dispersed for the 0.8 million beneficiaries whose information has been confirmed correctly. He added after verifying the information promptly, payments will be made to the remaining beneficiaries. State Minister also emphasized that the investigations related to appeals and objections has commenced and payments will be made to all the beneficiaries as soon as it is completed. The State Minister also expressed that if there are beneficiaries who have received benefits by giving false information, the Welfare Benefits Board will take stern action to recover the money given and take legal action. The State Minister stressed the government will ensure that no eligible citizen is left behind. The Ministry of Education announced that all government and government-approved private schools will reopen for the second session of the second term of the year today. The ministry added that the school term will end on the 27th of October. The third term is scheduled to be opened on the 30th of October. Meanwhile, the governor of the central province, Lalit Yugamage, said that schools within the Kandy town limits will be closed on 28th, 29th and 31st August. He said it will be closed due to the traffic congestion for the Kandy Asala Perehara. The governor further mentioned that later the schools will be conducted on Saturdays to cover the educational activities during the period in which the schools remain closed. That's local news for the moment.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
A combined effort has been put to do a research on rain possibilities by the private-public sectors. The main objective is to find ways and means of possibilities to overcome these drought conditions. Many sectors have extended their fullest support in this regard.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Watch Live is brought to you by
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
The closing date for the applications call for the teachers to mark answer scripts of Year 5 scholarship will end on the 1st of next month. The Year 5 exams will be held on the 15th of October. The examination department said the relevant applications should be submitted through online process. Further details could be obtained by visiting the websites www.doenets.lk or www.onlineexams.gov.lk.
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
World News headlines. Jacksonville shooter 21 who killed 3 wrote racist manifestos. China's summer of climate destruction. France to ban female students from wearing abayas in state schools. World News in detail. A man who shot dead 3 people in a racially motivated attack in Florida wrote of his hatred of black people, police have said. 21-year-old Ryan Christopher fired 11 rounds at one woman sitting in her car in Jacksonville before entering shop and shooting another 2 people. Sheriff T.K. Waters said he then turned the gun on himself. Mayor Donna Deegan said it was a hate-filled crime driven by racist hatred. China's summer this year has seen both extreme heat and devastating floods, and the flooding this time around has struck areas where such weather has been unheard of, with scientists blaming climate change, warning that the worst is yet to come. His family and friends are safe, he says, because they were given plenty of warning to get to higher ground, but everyone in the village has now some tough months ahead. In the meantime, students will be banned from wearing abaya, loose-fitting full-length robe worn by Muslim women in France's state-run schools, the education minister said. The rule will be applied as soon as the New Year's school starts on the 4th of September. France has a strict ban on religious signs in state schools and government buildings, arguing that they violate secular laws. Wearing a headscarf has been banned since 2004 in state-run schools. That's on World News.
Development News is brought to you by
Job opportunities for well-experienced housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait for ages 40 to 58 years. Salary 125,000 rupees. Contact 037 7500 500.
The Colombo Port City Economic Commission has achieved a significant milestone in its journey to transform the Colombo Port City into a globally competitive special economic zone. The Parliament has last week approved a comprehensive incentives program proposed by the Commission in consultation with the Minister of Investment Promotion. The guidelines for granting exemptions or incentives to business designated as businesses of strategic importance by an extraordinary Gazette number 234360 on August 4th. Established under the Colombo Port City Economic Commission, the Commission aims to attract global investors, promote economic stability, and position Sri Lanka as a leader in service exports.
Job opportunities for women from Deshakti Lanka in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Oman. Housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia, ages 40 to 58 years. Arabic speaking and well-experienced home cooks. Salary 125,000 rupees. Interviews are now on with foreign agents. You can travel overseas free of charge now. Branches Colombo, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 037 7500 500. Deshakti Lanka Foreign Employment Agency.
Sports news in cricket. Left-arm spin bowling all-rounder Sharafuddin Ashraf has also made a comeback. All-rounder Karim Jannat is in line to play an ODI after more than 6 years, having been named in Afghanistan's squad for the Asia Cup. The 17-member squad also included Najibullah Zadran, who missed the Pakistan ODI series because of a knee injury. Left-arm spin bowling all-rounder Sharafuddin Ashraf, who had last played for Afghanistan in August 2022, also made a comeback.
Go ekathiana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship eka menna.
The all-new NSB Itru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Biofoods Private Limited, a pioneer in export agriculture in Sri Lanka, will be introducing liquid fertilizer for the tea industry by the end of the year. Biofoods CEO Gayan Velanala, in an interview on the sidelines of their 30th anniversary, said that they are one of the pioneers of manufacturing organic fertilizers. This project commenced before the former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa introduced the organic concept.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And on economic news, the Asian Development Bank says that it appreciates Sri Lanka's interest in reviving small and medium-scale enterprises which has emerged from the economic crisis. Sri Lanka Country Director ADB Takafumi Kadano, who met Minister of State for Finance Shehan Semasinghe, said that they are ready to provide additional support towards reviving this segment. He also emphasized that the Asian Development Bank is eager to further study the field of small and medium enterprises in Sri Lanka. Appreciating the sacrifices made for Sri Lanka's rise by avoiding the crisis, the director said that every crisis creates new opportunities.
Weather report.
The Met Department says showery condition is expected to enhance to some extent in the southwestern part of the island in the next few days starting from today. Several spells of showers will occur in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in Nuwara, Kandy, Galle and Matara districts. Showers of thunder showers will occur at several places in Nuwara province and in Ampara and Batticaloa districts during the evening or night. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporarily localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. On the upper and southward relative motion of the sun, it is going to be directly over the latitudes of Sri Lanka during 28th of August to 7th September this year. The nearest towns of Sri Lanka over which the sun is overhead is this weather. The report was published this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. That's the weather update.
Weather report.
Before we wind up this bulletin of news, back to the headlines. All government and government-approved private schools will reopen for the second session of the second term of the year today. Dutch delegation to sign documents for ownership transfer of colonial-era treasures today. The construction of the multipurpose transport centre in Kandy will recommence before the end of this year. The Prime Minister reiterates that he is committed to safeguard the unitary state under any circumstance. Legal action against individuals and organizations involved in pyramid schemes. The third Randoli Perehara of the historical Dalada Maligawa Asala Perehara Festival will parade the streets tonight. News overseas, China's summer of climate destruction. In sports, cricket, Karim Janat, Najibullah Zadran back in Afghanistan's squad for Asia Cup. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news.